Hi, I'm Bob Fawcett, Vice President of Unitours. We're so delighted that you're considering joining us on one of our Catholic pilgrimages to Europe or the Middle East. Back in 1977, when I made my own first pilgrimage, I had a myriad of questions about the company, about what to expect, those types of things. We've made this video in the hopes that we can answer some of the same questions that you might have about your upcoming pilgrimage. First, let me tell you a little bit about Unitours. We were established in 1957. We are specialists in international group travel. We're not conventional travel agents. All we do is specialized groups overseas. And our bread and butter, what we do most, is Catholic pilgrimages. We're members of the American Society of Travel Agents, ASTA. We are members of the local Better Business Bureau in Westchester County, New York, where our headquarters is located. We are founding members of the United States Tour Operators Association, and we're still affiliate members today. The focus on Unitours' type of service is we provide a high quality tour. We don't like the idea of bargain basement kinds of tours. It's just not the type of thing that we do. One of our reputations that's made us so well known in the business is attention to detail. We like to cross every T and dot every I. We have a great system put together to make sure that we communicate with everybody that's involved with your pilgrimage, and we do that extremely well. We like to run balanced itineraries, meaning itineraries that have a balance of the spiritual as well as the secular sites. When you're in a city like Paris or Rome, surely we want to see the spiritual sites that are associated, but you also want to see the secular sites, the Eiffel Tower or the Colosseum or places like that as well. So we may try to have balanced itineraries, and we try to have fun on a pilgrimage as well. We think that the pilgrimages can be run on a balanced basis. We have professional, knowledgeable tour managers. These are people who escort your group. They meet you at the airport. They travel with you every day. They sleep in the same hotels as you at night. They take care of your group, and they take you back to the airport at the end. These are people that I can almost guarantee you're going to fall in love with after your 10 days or 15 days with them. They're wonderful, wonderful people that have worked with us for years. We have a professional, knowledgeable staff at our headquarters in Purchase, New York, people who attend to the invoicing and to the itineraries and can answer any questions that you might have as well. Why do people go on pilgrimages? There's a ton of reasons that people go on various pilgrimages, but I think the main thing that people go on is to build their own faith. It's a faith journey, and they want to make a pilgrimage to build on their own faith. They might go on a pilgrimage to study Scripture. Certainly if you're going to the Holy Land, it's the best place in the world to study Scripture because the Scriptures come alive over there. But you might want to study some church history, some of the background, the saints that have gone before us and who are important in our faith journey as well. So that's another reason that we go on these. Some people go on pilgrimages for healing. It might be a spiritual healing, it might be a physical healing. One of the beauties of being in the business that we're in is that we have seen many, many healings take place at various sites that we take pilgrimages throughout the year. A lot of our organizers, our priests who run pilgrimages, they go with the idea of helping to build community. It's one of the things I love to say and I see is that when a pilgrimage takes place, church happens. Church becomes, because it's a shared faith experience that you're sharing with other people that are traveling with you, and it's just organic, it just happens. But you make new friends. You might also go just to safely see the world with people that you know and you love and you respect, and you feel safe traveling with them. What would you expect on a Unitours pilgrimage? On a Unitours pilgrimage, you can expect that you're going to travel on scheduled air. You're not going to be on charter flights or any of that kind of thing. We use carriers that know us and that we know as well. You're going to have quality, centrally located hotels. These are places that will meet American standards, places that we know, that we have traveled to, that we have sent other pilgrims to, and that we're comfortable sending American travelers to them as well. You're going to have that tour manager, as I mentioned before, who's going to live with your group and escort your group, be on the bus every single day with you. You're going to have modern air-conditioned motor coaches that will be available every day that you'll travel on. You're going to have local guides. In some cities and countries in Europe, especially in Europe, we engage local guides who come on who are experts in their particular cities. This is certainly true of some of the larger cities. These local guides also know us and we know them, and they've traveled with Unitours Catholic pilgrimage groups as well. So these are people that are also available, they're included as well. You're going to have a buffet breakfast at your a hotel every day. Usually it's going to have a hot component with it as well. Most of your dinners are going to be included that are dinners at your hotel. Look at your brochure. It makes it crystal clear whether your meals of each day are included or whether they're on your own. We like to have this clear, but most of your dinners are going to be included at your hotel in the evening. Most of our groups have Mass scheduled each day, and when we schedule a private Mass so that the priest, who is the spiritual leader of your group, will be the celebrant to share that Mass with you and your fellow pilgrims, and we make all those arrangements to make sure that you're there as well. What are the cost elements that go into a pilgrimage? How does it work? For one thing, the price of your tour is going to include your airfare, usually from your home city. You need to look at the brochure to see exactly where that tour originates, all right? But the air is included. The hotels are included, as I mentioned before. Your meals that are specified on the brochure, they're included as well. The motor coach, the entrance fees that to get in, we don't have you having to pay to get into the various sites. That's all taken care of for you. And usually you get in on a faster basis because we have a group reservation in many of the places. One of the elements that may or may not be included in the price of your tour is the ever-changing air taxes and fuel surcharges that airlines are imposing today. On some tours, our hosts would have us include them in the price. Other ones, they exclude them and they will be added to your final bill. The brochure will make it crystal clear whether that's included in your price or not. It's also a moving target because according to the price of oil is whether these fuel surcharges go up or down. So that's a moving target. What is not included as well is usually tips to the tour managers, the guides, the step-on guides, the driver, bus driver, your dining room staff. Those are not included, but typically we're going to invoice those for you, and then we'll give those funds to your tour leader, who will disperse them as you travel, so that you're not having to pass the hat and dig into your pocket every time somebody steps onto your bus or not. Right? The other thing that is optional, the one thing that's optional, is your travel insurance. It's up to you whether you buy that or not. We will add it to the invoice, of your final invoice, but it's up to you. You can either accept that and pay that invoice, or you can just cross it off the invoice and pay the lesser amount. It's totally up to you, and it's optional. People also often ask about the physical elements of a pilgrimage. How much, probably the most common question we get is how much walking is involved in a pilgrimage? And the answer is yes, there is walking. We're delighted. Some of the shrines are at places that we can drive a motor coach up to the front door. You get off the coach and you're instantly into that shrine, and that's a nice experience. But that's not always the case. Sometimes the shrine is a bit of a ways from where we are allowed to park. This is happening especially in some of the European cities where they're trying to eliminate some of the congestion around some of these sites. I'm thinking particularly of St. Peter's. Now we can take you to St. Peter's, but we have to drop you off about 3/4 of a mile at a bus parking lot in order for you to hike the rest of the way to St. Peter's. Now, if you have a walking problem, your tour manager might suggest to you, listen, why don't a couple of you share a cab, go down to St. Peter's, and then meet us when we arrive. It's up to you, but we'll try to work with you. There may be some sites that you don't see that are simply too strenuous, but our tour manager will try to know your abilities and might make a recommendation to you. So we're sensitive to it, but you should be mindful if you do have a disability, it could be an issue. One of the things is we get questions about wheelchairs. Wheelchair-bound people are more than welcome on our trips. We have 2 rules for it. One is that you bring your own foldable wheelchair, bring it on the trip, because it's difficult to rent them if you're going from country to country, or it's difficult to rent them, period. So bring your own wheelchair, and the other thing we insist on is that you bring a companion who is going to be responsible for your care while you're traveling. That person needs to be someone who is going to push your wheelchair when you're touring, and also who is going to take your wheelchair and put it underneath the coach, take it out from underneath the coach. It's simply the matter that the tour manager and the driver might be looking after up to 50 other people. They don't have the ability to give you the attention that you're going to need. So those of you who are wheelchair bound, you do need to bring a companion who's going to take care of you. We hope that this information has been helpful to you. We hope it answered many of your questions. We're sure you don't There are other questions that you might have. You're invited to ask your host. If you're looking at a particular pilgrimage, ask your tour host, whoever's running that tour. If there's a travel agent involved, to ask the travel agent. We try to equip these folks to answer as many questions as we can. If you need to call our offices in Purchase, New York at the number that's on the screen right now, you're welcome to do that. Our staff will be happy to answer your other questions. If you are looking for a pilgrimage and are not sure which pilgrimage you're going to go on, if you go to the website of Unitours, which again is on the screen here, go there and go to the section about for individual travelers, and then click on search, and you'll be able to see the pilgrimages that we have that are upcoming that have invited other people to join, and that you might be able to join that pilgrimage as well. We thank you for watching. We hope this was helpful to you, and we hope that whenever you make your next pilgrimage, that it be the most the tremendous experience for you and be a life-changing one for you as well. Thank you for watching.